Welcome back. Uncut Reviews, episode 7.
7, yep.
Wandavision. I got it right because this episode stuck out in my head a little bit, even though it wasn't the best of episodes. But welcome back. If you've not watched the episode yet, big old spoilers coming your way. Big old spoilers. Just really quickly, I was kind of disappointed we didn't get more Pietro in this episode.
I'm so glad. Just on it, like this is going to be out of tangent and a PSA for anybody that has watched the episode. There is a post-credits scene, and I'm so glad you told me about this because I would have missed it completely otherwise.
Yeah. Do you know how I saw it? I saw the credits for 7 minutes and not 6. I thought, what extra footage is there? So that's how I clocked it. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, he's only in the post-credit scene for this episode, isn't he? He's literally in nothing else. That was more of a question than a statement. I was like, wait, is he?
I'm pretty sure. But no, that he is just in the post-credit scene.
I think we do have to start though, because I think we've got to give you the ample time to boast about it. You were right.
I fucking called it, guys. I called it. It's finally revealed that Agatha, the lady that we all like, I actually really like her, is the villain. I knew she was going to be the villain from literally episode 1. I called it. And for everybody going, we all knew it. Comic book knowledge. I don't have much comic book knowledge, okay? I only knew later on in like episode 2 or 3 that she was apparently Wanda's mentor in the comics, right? Because I watched a couple of videos on it and stuff. But when I called it, I didn't know. So I was right. She is the villain. It's shown that she's been manipulating all of the events. She's actually doing what Wanda is doing to other people. So she's manipulating just Wanda into controlling everybody else.
Can I just bring up a thing that makes her the most diabolical villain in the entire of the MCU?
Go on.
She killed Sparky.
I know. Yeah, man.
She's worse than Thanos for that.
Kill her. Just destroy her.
Yeah, honestly.
End her life. But nah. So just for context, let's just sort of give a summary of the episode.
Yeah, we went to the end first.
I know, because that was the biggest major reveal, so I just wanted to get it out of the way so that you guys know what's going on with the context of this episode. But it was weird. It went back to like episode 1 type thing where it was very much like a lot of comedy and sitcom tropes, which was fine. But after last episode, I think a lot of people were expecting more. I know Finton was expecting more.
It got on my nerves. Because the thing is, right?
I was expecting more.
There are 2 relevant points to this episode. That's it. And we've already spoken about one of the rest is basically just filler and Wanda losing her mind.
And she's evil. Those are the 2.
No, there is something else, but like there is just a lot of it of them they're just talking to a cat. Like it's pointless talking to camera. This is my issue. There is no need for that. Like I get that's the style they go.
It was kind of interesting to me because I felt they were setting up the expectation of like, Wanda's gonna lose it. Like about halfway through the episode, right? So during the episode, like things are going wrong in the Hex. Like Wanda isn't able to control everything the way she usually is. Her and Vision are like not together. They've had Vision's on like the other side of the Hex and he's trying to get back to Wanda. Darcy's in the Hex now. Her being in the Hex literally makes no difference to anything because Vision just goes and just zaps her out of it.
Yeah.
So she was like under mind control for about 2 minutes max and then she's good. But their dynamic was pretty cool in the episode. I quite liked that, even though we only got like 5 minutes of it. I thought it was quite nice. What did you think?
I just love the way that's the way that Vision finds out about everything from his past. It's just Darcy going, Coolio, correcto. Yeah. I was like, oh God, you're just telling a dude he's died twice and you say correcto.
Correcto. I actually think Darcy was one of the better parts of the 4 movies. So I'm so glad that she is now in more MCU stuff because she's cool. But what else happens? So Wanda's kind of losing it. The kids,
we need to question the kids. what has happened to the kids, genuinely, because I only thought about this after the episode, is we don't see them.
We will. Let me just summarize first, because otherwise motherfuckers are going to be like, But basically, the kids go and chill with Agatha, because Agatha comes in. She's like, your mum needs some alone time. Agatha takes the kids. At this point, we don't know she's evil. We just know later on that she's evil. So, she's obviously doing some devious things. Vision's trying to get back. Monica Rambo goes and meets her contact, who we were all really hyped for. We were like, oh my God.
I would like to say this is the thing I'm most annoyed about, because everybody had me believing it would be Reed Richard, and it wasn't, and I'm so angry.
It's going to be Reed Richards. It's going to be Captain Marvel. No.
Okay,
Captain
Marvel, I didn't believe.
Captain lady.
Reed Richard, I believed. Lady. I believed Reed Richard. Captain Marvel wouldn't have happened.
I didn't believe Reed Richards for a second, to be honest. But yeah, it's some random. I can't even remember her name. I don't know why she was relevant, to be honest. Like, maybe it's a reference to
that entire bit was irrelevant, though.
It was weird, yeah. Like, maybe it was a reference to the Captain Marvel movie, which I have watched, but maybe it just went over my head. I don't know.
To be fair, comments, but actually, we'll let you summarize a little bit more before I bring up this point, because this point is kind of just, it's like a few minutes in the future.
She basically gets given a buggy, blah, blah, blah. The buggy doesn't work to get into the hex. Monica decides, you know what? This super armored buggy didn't work. Obviously, the best solution is I'm just going to throw myself in. Fucking works. So fair play to her. She dives in, emerges on the other side. We get like a scene where she's swimming through the hex.
I was about to say, this is what I wanted to talk about. In this thing where she's going through the hex, you do hear Captain Marvel, to be fair. She is in it.
Captain Marvel's
and there's
voice,
also
yes.
Nick Fury as well. So I was like, that's
I'm pretty sure her mum is there as well.
Yeah, her mum's there. The doctor that told her that her mum's dead was there.
Yeah.
And then she becomes, like, on the other side, she becomes Photon. She's not actually classified, but she gets the powers.
She gets her powers, she emerges, she starts seeing things in like a different way, and then she goes and turns it off.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Like a light switch.
She did a superhero landing. That was cool. She did a little superhero landing. I was like,
that standoff between her and Wanda was actually so good. Monica's just like, I ain't scared of you.
But yeah, she confronts Wanda. Wanda's like, I don't like you. And then she tries to talk her down. Agatha appears. Agatha's like, sis, you need to get up out of here. She does all this, you know what I'm saying? She takes Wanda into her home. And then at this point, like, creepy music comes in. Wanda's like, where are the twins? She's like, they're playing in the basement. First of all, I don't even think houses in Westview have basements. 1. 2, anyone that looks after your kids and then lets them go play in their basement is not someone who should be looking after your kids.
They're Pennywise material, is what they are.
But Wanda goes downstairs. She's like, oh my God. And it's like, I don't know where that's meant to be. Again, this is what I'm saying. Like, my comic book knowledge is lacking. Binton might be able to fill us in, but I'm not too sure.
I got no idea. I'm DC comic book knowledge rather than Marvel comic.
It don't matter. In that case, you guys watching, you can fill us in if possible.
Yeah, please do.
There's like a book. There's like a mystical book that's shining and stuff, which is, I'm guessing that's going to be important. Maybe the kids are in the book. Maybe she swallowed them into the book. I don't fucking know.
I think she's killed the kids.
Yeah. Nah, man, the kids ain't dead because they're setting them up to be the Young Avengers.
Yeah, I know, but in the comics, what's her face? I can't remember her name now for the life of me. Agatha, there we go. She's meant to be a mentor, whereas in this, she's made out to be a villain. I'm like, they're taking creative license with this, so I think the kids are dead. Again, I'm probably wrong. True. Said Agatha wouldn't be the villain. Basically,
yeah, exactly. He's waffling, but I think they are definitely setting up Mephisto. I don't think Agatha is the sole villain here. I think there is still some other. We keep hearing about her husband Ralph. We hear Ralph literally. He's mentioned in like nearly every single episode. Yeah, still not seen Ralph. The theory is that Ralph is Mephisto, potentially.
Okay, confirmed. Mephisto's in the season finale. Gio knows all the answers, so.
I've got access to the season 8, episode 8.
To be fair, actually, while we're here, considering this is the penultimate episode, I was pretty disappointed. Like, a lot of it felt like filler.
Yeah, we basically summarized the episode now. That's all that happens. It kind of just ends on the revelation of Agatha as evil. Oh, and there was a cool montage of all the evil shit she's done throughout the series.
And the fact that was pretty Sparky. Cool. Diabolical.
And she killed Sparky. Evil woman. But so that's the episode. But that was a really brief summary. There is a lot of filler, like Finton said. There is
so
a
much
lot.
filler.
It didn't bother me because I am a person who, like, I love the film The Irishman. If anyone knows what movie that is, that's a 3-hour-long movie. No, it's not even, but it's just a 3-hour-long movie with, like, not the best payoff. Even though it's a great movie, you should all go and watch it on Netflix. But yeah, so like I love movies like that. So I quite like slow episodes with lots of dialogue and they're sitting down and they're talking. It's like, oh my God, like, you know, and I quite enjoy that. But
oh no, I do enjoy it, but it needs to have a payoff, and it just didn't.
Yeah. Well, the payoff was that we finally know. That's the thing. Like, this episode actually is the answer to the mystery, 90% of it, because there's still something going on that we don't know about. But we know that Agatha is evil now, which I knew from the start, but whatever. But yeah, we know she's evil confirmed. We know that Wanda isn't evil, thankfully. Wanda's not actually fully in control because Agatha is mind controlling Wanda. I think that was a big thing from this episode.
The statement that she makes when she's fighting Monica was like that genuinely was like, whoa.
What?
The bit where he's like, don't let Hayward turn you into a villain. And Wanda's like, maybe I already am. I was like, ooh, that's a decent line. I like that.
That was a good little like misdirection. Like, they've been really good at misdirecting us the whole series because something we've all noticed. I think if you're watching the show, you're definitely scrutinizing it like we are. But throughout the whole series, the only person that said Wanda is in control, Wanda's doing it, is actually Rambo. Every other character has said she. They've just said she, you know. So we haven't actually had confirmation from them that it's Wanda. Only Rambo has said Wanda.
I think it is. I think it's just Agatha's messing with everything.
What I'm saying is, it's interesting that Rambo had that sort of clarity while everyone else didn't, or maybe lack of clarity, I guess, because it turns out that Wanda is only doing it because she's being mind controlled, and now it makes me think maybe Wanda.
When do they say she's being mind controlled? I thought it was like the mix of things is just that Agatha's messing up stuff.
No, because do you remember so there's like I said, there's that like short reel of like all the evil things that Agatha
but that's
done.
just her doing stuff. That's not her doing anything specifically to Wanda. Like,
no,
she makes Pietro appear.
Sure.
She makes Pietro appear. She does the thing at the magic show to screw everything up. She kills Sparky.
I'm pretty sure she controls Wanda. I'm pretty sure there was that scene, because I remember seeing it and thinking, oh, where Agatha blasts Wanda and Wanda's like, oh, and controls the hex getting bigger. I'm pretty sure that was in there. I don't know why I would have made that up. I must have seen that somewhere.
I'm going to be honest, mate. I think you have, because I watched the episode like half an hour after you, so I don't remember that at all.
Damn it. Okay, well, anyway, I'm pretty certain that there is mind control, because there is a point where Agatha does shoot something at Wanda and Wanda's eyes go purple.
Yeah, exactly. Either I've completely missed this, or you're making it up.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm like 75% sure that happened. But
I'm gonna go back and watch that reel now as soon as we're done.
Same, but I think Wanda is definitely being controlled in some way by Agatha. I think that maybe Agatha even influenced her to go and steal Vision's body. We also found out why Hayward's so into having Vision around. He was trying to rebuild Vision and have Vision as his own sentient weapon, which so fucking generic. Like, I mean, I feel like we all sort of knew. You know, it wasn't bad, but it was just like.
But it was though, because like, it's Marvel. It's, you know, remember how I said in like episode 1, I love this series because it was doing stuff that the MCU didn't do. It's now falling back into MCU traits, and it's just
like that was Ultron. Like, he was like, I'm gonna make Ultron Part 2, and it was like,
literally,
why would you ever do that? It's such a bad idea. Yeah, what's wrong with you? But I didn't hate it. I was just a bit like, that is so random that they thought that should be what happens. But yeah, so he's obviously been set up as like a side villain. He'll probably be dealt with by Maria. I'm hoping that Maria Rambo gets to like overthrow him as the leader of SWORD, and she takes over his position, but also remains as Photon, and that would be really interesting to see. What else happens? Should we talk about the post-credit scene?
Could I just quickly? This is an 8-episode season, right?
Yes.
So next week's episode is the last episode.
Yes.
Okay, I'm very worried about next week's episode then.
I'm pretty sure next week's episode is going to be a long one, though. I mean, the rumor was that the last 3 episodes are going to be an hour long each. We know that is obviously not true. This episode was like 36 minutes and it had credits that were like 7 minutes. So that's some bullshit.
My worry is they've got to destroy Westview, find out whether Vision lives or dies, set up Photon, deal with Agatha, all in one episode, and Hayward, all in one episode, because there isn't a second season of WandaVision.
I
don't think they can do that.
In an hour they can, because the thing is Agatha, I don't know, I don't want to speculate too much, but they'll do something to Agatha where, I don't know, but I think Vision is probably he's either gonna be permanently dead and will get some sort of resolution to Wanda's grief, and that will close down the hex, or they're gonna find some way to bring him back through the multiverse. I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much because we'll talk for like 45 minutes.
I'm just cautious because I remember I said last episode they've got to drop the ball at some point, and I'm getting very worried they're going to drop the ball in the last episode.
Nah, man. I definitely have faith. I think they're going to do it. I think they've got this shit. I think they know what they're doing. Marvel are really good at giving good, satisfying payoffs, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, have you watched any MCU film ever?
Yeah, and I always feel like, nice, you know, like
it's just generic. They beat like they do, like Endgame. Yeah, it's that fair enough, but the rest I'm just like, yeah, you just kind of, it's always the good guy wins. Nothing bad ever happens. True,
but they flipped it on its head here. They made it a little bit different. Like Wanda is still, there's still some shit going on there.
Yeah,
she's not fully stable.
I'm hopeful.
So they could do something interesting with it.
Yeah,
I really want to talk about this post-credit scene.
It's kind of pointless
because it was only really quick, but it again though, it's interesting because the post-credit scene is Photon or Rambo. I'm just gonna call it Rambo because I prefer that. She goes to Agatha's house. She sees the basement is open. By the way, the basement has like forestation growing out of it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then Quicksilver appears, and he's just there, and he's like says something about snooping, and then
I think Pietro isn't. He's fully just being controlled by Agatha. He's not actually himself. I
don't even think he's being controlled. Again, another theory.
No, because he's definitely there because of her, though. Because in that reel, you see her sitting on the porch and is the one directing Pietro. So he's definitely there because of her. But whether he's being controlled by her, I wasn't sure until we see that post-credit scene, and then he just appears next to Monica. Like that shouldn't happen unless Agatha knows that she's there.
That's a really good point. But just a little something that I'm gonna say is we're watching the show, and obviously the characters within the show are also watching the show, and from that we know that Wanda's the one doing the editing. So we know that Wanda is choosing to omit certain things and stuff like that. So there is no reason as to why Agatha can't also do that. So that might be misdirection on the show's part, showing her controlling Pietro, when in reality, maybe that isn't the case, because the fan theory is that Pietro is Mephisto, but just he's changed his appearance to be more appealing to Wanda so that she trusts him, because Pietro was asking some dodgy stuff, man, like, how are you doing it? Like, how are you doing this? And like asking about the kids, and he called the kids devil spawn, which is interesting because in the comics the kids are born from like Mephisto's soul or something, like I don't know, some crazy stuff like that, I don't know, but yeah, like I'm just very, very aware that he could very much be Mephisto, in my opinion.
I don't know, there's just a lot that they've got to do in this last episode if that's the case. Like, just because of how they've done this episode, is they've just given more questions.
you know what I've just realized? Because if he isn't Mephisto, that means he actually is Pietro from the multiverse. So they've got to explain that. So it's
yeah, that's gonna be a fun one.
So I think maybe he will be Mephisto because that's just the easier.
Yeah,
it's just the easier option. Like,
I think I would have believed.
I don't know, though.
I would have believed that he was actually Pietro if Reed Richards was in this episode, but because he wasn't, this is making me think he probably is Mephisto.
I don't know where the fuck this theory about Reed Richards came from. Like, I really don't understand
because Disney own the X-Men now, and they've said they're going to bring X-Men into the MCU. So people were trying to think because
Reed Richards isn't an X-Man.
No, but he's part of the Fantastic Four, which when they bought the X-Men and Fox, they got the rights to Fantastic Four as well.
True. You are right. Well, yeah, that's everything that happened in this episode anyway. Are you ready to wrap it up and give it a rating?
I mean, sure.
Finton's told me his rating, and I was a bit offended.
It just annoys me that this is something that Disney Plus do a lot. They just put filler in like 8-episode shows. I'm like, that's not needed. Like, look at the Netflix Marvel shows. There's no filler in them. They're just perfect. Like Daredevil, just
perfect. Okay.
No. I'm about Daredevil. That's why I specifically said Daredevil.
Iron Fist is actually pretty enjoyable, to be fair. I actually really liked Iron Fist. I also really, really enjoyed Luke Cage until they killed Cottonmouth. I think that's his name, Cottonmouth. He was such an interesting villain, but this isn't about.
Yeah. Anyway,
But yeah.
I think I said to you between a 6 and a 7. I think I'll give this 7, just because the more we've discussed it, the more I'm like, it wasn't entirely filler, but I came out at the end of the episode like literally only like 3 things were worth happening in that episode.
Sorry, I'm right. It is Cottonmouth. He is the villain in that show. I knew I got it right, but sorry, carry on.
I mean, I was done. I'd say it's a 7 out of 10 just because there was a lot of filler.
7 out of 10. Okay, that's better than what he originally told me. He told me 6 or 7. I thought he was leaning more towards 7. So I would agree. I'd say it's a 7. It's not one of the better episodes in my opinion. The thing that makes it good is just the simple fact that we get to see Pietro. What am I talking about? We get to see that Agatha is actually the villain, and I mean, it confirmed my theory. So I think maybe I felt more satisfied than you because I've been screaming from episode 1.
You got the gloating out. You can start gloating.
So I'm like, bitch, I was right. I knew she was the villain, So I get that satisfaction from my end, but I can kind of get why you don't, because maybe you were hoping that actually it
I'm just angry there was no Reed Richards, in all honesty. I was like, that would have been so dope. It would have been so good.
I like Fantastic Four, but I've never been like, oh, Fantastic Four.
It's maybe that's because all their movies yeah, exactly. They screw up the movies of the Fantastic Four. They're such good characters, and they all
I'll never forgive the fact that they made Galactus into a giant cloud. But anyway, that's our ratings for this episode. 7. So solid 7 out of 10. Decent episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Uncut Review. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought. Drop your theories in there. We want to hear what you think is going to happen. Is Mephisto going to be in the next episode? What's that book? I still want to know what the book is.
Yeah, same. Tell us, please.
Are you excited about Maria Rambo getting her powers? Do you want to see a Photon movie? I do. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you next week for the last episode.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. See ya.